Good afternoon, all. Right, so bit of an update on the Philippines plan for Jess and myself. The plan still is to, and I think we're pretty much set on it now, within reason, is to eventually move out here in the Philippines and build our own house. But it's not as simple as just finding a bit of land and building on it. There's a lot of planning involved. Obviously, the house itself, financially, what we're going to be doing, and the legalities behind doing what we're trying to do. On my end, I need to renew my passport. I'm dual citizenship, Philippines and English, obviously. And once I've renewed my passport, I can then be a citizen of the Philippines as well as the UK. So that's going to get done either end of this month or hopefully the start of next month. Once I've done that, I can then register my coaching business, because I haven't registered it yet. Because if I did, I'd end up paying a ridiculous amount of tax, and I simply refuse to. I pay enough tax and I work hard enough for the government to just be robbing me blind, because fuck them, basically. So once I've renewed my passport, I can then register my coaching business here in the Philippines, which is also excellent because you can earn up to, I think it's about £40,000 a year. You can earn a certain amount and not pay any tax, but after that amount, which is not a large amount, but after that point, you only have to pay 8% of whatever you earn. Now, I've worked it out for what I earn, and I think I'll be paying just under 5% of everything in tax, which is fantastic because we all know how much tax you have to pay in the UK. One of the reasons why I need to do this is because it's financial, essentially. I'm going to pluck a figure out the air. Let's say 40 grand. Let's say the house is going to cost us 40 grand, which is it's not much money at all for what we're used to in terms of houses in the UK. But 40 grand can build us a pretty nice little house in the Philippines. I'm lucky in the sense I don't have to pay for land because it's all on my mother's land, so that's excellent. But as I say, the figure that I've just plucked out of thin air, 40k. My plan is I don't want to get 40 grand and just give it to the builders. I want to put half in of my own cash and get a loan for the second half. The interest on the loan isn't much at all. It's not much. But the reason why I didn't want to just put down 40 grand is because I didn't want to leave us both skin, you know. If we can afford to put 20 grand down in cash and then pay the rest off over 3 years, which is £560 a month, I worked out with the interest. Pay that every month for 3 years and you've paid off your house, essentially. But the reason why I wanted to do the loan is because, say if we've got 40 grand and we've put 20 grand down, it leaves us with a nice lump of cash that we can use for, you know, there might be some extras on the build that we can just be like, okay, there you go, we need to sort that out. Additional features we might decide to have in the house, with it being our own house that we've built from scratch. You know, there are certain things that we can have and just make them custom to us. It might just be a cool add-on. I don't know. But yeah, it's just there. Obviously, white goods, appliances, washing machine, fridges, having the kitchen all done out, furniture in the living room and the bedrooms and all of this. We might want some fancy stuff in the bathroom. I don't know. But that 20 grand plus should cover it. And then, as I say, it just means we've got to pay £560 a month. Which is much better than paying off a mortgage, which you don't get anything back for God knows how many years. And financially, it's not even that bad. It's like, for the house, we need, obviously, all the furniture, the white goods, just mentioned all that. Solar panels. My mate Sean's got solar panels on his house, and I asked him about this the other day because we've been having a lot of brownouts or power cuts. And I said, have you been having your power cuts as well? Bear in mind, we live maybe a couple of hundred meters away from each other, and he's had none. Reason being, he's got solar panels. Solar panels, he says, it's enough to power 2 aircon units, all the lights, certain power tools for the builders to use, because he's having some building work done, and he doesn't know anything about it. Obviously, if the only time you know there's a power cut is when, really, it's easy to tell at night time when all the lights go off and your fans stop working. With this weather, you need your fans working, you need the aircon on. The power goes out, it's fucking hot, and it's muggy, and it's sticky, and there's flies and mosquitoes that just love to piss you off. So it's either solar panels or a generator. Solar panels are a lot quieter. Generators just sounds like a lorry's just switched on and constantly running. So solar panels is a must, and that only costs about £5,000, £5,000. £5,000 to have guaranteed electricity without any power cuts is certainly worth it, especially with the electric bills actually being quite cheap. I think on average it's going to cost us about £50 a month for electric, so it's not much at all. And obviously Starlink, because we do need constant Wi-Fi with the work that we're going to be doing. That is the main thing. You don't want to be messaging clients saying, "Oh, sorry, I've had no electric." I've already had to do that the other day, saying I've had no Wi-Fi, no electric for the past day or two. So it has been quite hard to get it. I've had to ride on a scooter 40 minutes to a gym to train there, but then it's got Starlink internet as well, and it's really fast. So to have our own Starlink set up and solar panels, 100% need it. So just as a rundown for monthly outgoings, I've missed a bunch of stuff, I know I have, but just the ballpark, with £560 a month from the loan, Starlink about £50 a month, or 3,800 pesos. Electric bills roughly between £50 and £100 a month, but it won't be £100 a month, it'll be much closer to 50. Plus, you won't be paying for the electric that you're not receiving from the grid. Essentially, if you're using more solar panel energy, then potentially you could. There's potentially you don't have to use any electricity at all. You just use what you're using for the solar panels. Obviously, there's a lot of sun here in the Philippines, so solar panels is quite, it makes sense to have. And then food. Food's a tricky one because it can be a lot, or it can be absolutely pennies. When I have been in Sikio the past few weeks, I haven't spent next to nothing on food. Honestly, for probably 3 weeks, I might have spent 20, 30 quid, and that's on my own food and buying meat for the dogs. Like I've been giving them pork chops and pork mince every day. But a lot of that reason is because Mum's been cooking me dinner and breakfast sometimes. So, but even then, it's just not much. Like if we're going to have a kitchen, we're going to be buying food in. Food is cheap. It is substantially cheaper. I'd say it's about a third of the price of things back in the UK, but a million times better quality. It is different to UK food because we are accustomed to our certain things. But here, everything is, relatively fresh. Meat shops, butchers, whatever, they are quite popular. The turnover of product is quite high. But really, you're looking, and this is including eating out once a week at a restaurant, which isn't much, about £250 a month. So that's with the food, for myself and Jess, obviously, and eating out once a week. You can eat out 2 people for about 20 quid, because an average meal costs about between 300 and 500 pesos with a drink. So even if it's 500 pesos each, it's only 1,000 pesos, which is 12 quid. So 20 quid it's more than doable. So approximately £900 a month that we need to be making to cover all the bills. After the 3 years, after we've paid off the loan, it's only down to around £350 a month. You can make it cheaper, but realistically, like the reason why we're trying to move out here and live this kind of life, it's just because there's so much more freedom to things. Back in the UK, You can do what you want, but there's always fine print in everything you do. Like, you can do what you want, but it's either going to cost you an absolute fucking fortune to do anything. And anything else you want to do, you want to set a business up, you want to go self-employed, you want to buy a property, you want to do this, do that. 10 people standing there with their hands out because they want their money. And 9 times out of 10, 9 hands out of 10 of those hands do fuck all. They just take your money and you have to pay it. Because if you don't, bailiffs come knock on your door, you get taken to court. You're very, 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 very suppressed in England. You want to have any form of actual freedom, it doesn't exist. Here, you have so much more freedom. Granted, a lot of it is down to having, more money, because obviously the British pound carries a lot more weight than the peso does. But also, generally, you do have much less rules. Things are a lot, not less strict, because certain things are strict. But just, I like the common sense approach with stuff. If you want to buy a house, as long as you've got the land and you can afford to build it, fucking build it. You need to have permission, obviously, but it's not like so many hoops you got to jump through like back in the UK. It's ridiculous. You want to build a house, you got to have a fucking vasectomy first and have someone explore your arsehole, have all your fucking things checked, everything. And they can just say no, turn around at the last minute and just say no. Don't really have to give you a reason either. But anyway, that's just one of the many reasons why I want out of the UK. And the main reason being, I genuinely believe it's going to be a better life for myself and Jess and the dogs and any future kids we have. But anyway, that's enough boring talking for this episode. I'm going to go get some food with Ray. Oh yeah, I picked Ray up this morning, early hours, about 2 in the morning. Went out and got a SIM card earlier today, some brekkie. So we're going to head out for some food in a bit, or order in, not sure yet. I'm going to get to the gym. Okay.
Let's go. So here they're collecting trash, right? Plastics. 10, 11 children. And how many brothers and sisters do you have? You have a big family? Brothers, how many brothers?
Nice. Plenty of room. Not too bad.
Ooh. You're back now?
Yeah, man.
How long have you staying in Sydney?
4 weeks.